Hello and welcome to another video, and it's Amico time again. Amico. Oh, suppose we better get this one done out of the way. I didn't think we'd get any more Amico stuff until, well, ever. Certainly no more deep dives, but I guess they had to push this one out the door at some point. It's just a sneak peek at the user interface, which, there's been, they've been working on since the dawn of time. And they've still not really got much further with it. And this will be my last. This will be on Christmas Eve when it goes out. It'll be my last sort of obviously video like this before Christmas. Whether there's anything decent between Christmas and New Year, we'll find out, I guess. But have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If you don't hear my dulcet tones before 2022 begins. I'll still put up some gameplay because I play a lot of video games, and you'll see a variety of stuff happening pretty much every day with that. I probably won't put one out on Christmas Day because I think everyone will be kind of busy to be looking at YouTube. But anyways, so we've got the user interface deep dive sneak peek. Well, it's only 6 minutes long. Can't be too much of a deep dive, really. Just before I watched this, I saw Ninja Kitty's done a video looking at their sneak peek, pointing out 10 things that are wrong. So I've not watched that yet. I'll look at Tommy's video first, and then I'll go through Ninja Kitty's video just to see whether I've seen these things or whether I completely missed them, and maybe you missed them at the same time as well. So it's worth going through that. Also, Ninja Kitty, if you're not subscribed to Ninja Kitty, I'll put a link in the description below. Do subscribe to Ninja Kitty because some very good videos on there. It's even like it's almost 3-hour live stream he did. I think it was with Dazed Gaming about the Amico. Was that might have been about a month ago, about 3 weeks, a month ago. I forget exactly without looking. But I worked through that. I worked through all of that in the end. I enjoy listening through that. It's when there's sort of like a long live stream like that. I won't listen to it all in one go, but it's nice to kind of catch up now and again because there's always time of the day to catch up with this stuff. So anyways, so let's get into Tommy's deep dive. Well, sneak peek. Maybe they would have called it a deep dive if it was 20 minutes long. They certainly didn't need to spend 20 minutes looking at bloody muscle command. But anyways, let's get on, Ooh, groovy. Nice. It's like we're in a lap dancing club. Yeah. Yeah. Shove my cornhole.
Hey, this is Tommy Tallarico, and I'm here with a very
We know you're Tommy Tallarico. I see you all the friggin' time.
Special person because we want to show you a very special video today. I'm here with one of our amazing...
God, it sounds like he's introducing Play School on the BBC back in the 70s and 80s. Hey, let's look through the round window. Okay, how much have I been drinking today? Let's look through the round window and see what stories we can see today.
Art directors, Ed, we've been working together now for
about 30 years now.
30 years.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's been on a 6-figure salary the whole of that time.
30 years, oh my God.
I know, can you believe it?
If anyone ever played Earthworm Jim, Disney's Aladdin, this is one of the...
Aladdin, it was in the middle of the Slopes interview. Tommy claimed he was involved with that, and in fact I think he was on Ninja Kitty, one of Ninja Kitty's videos. He sort of pulled that apart. I think it was on Ninja Kitty's video, just about the fact Tommy claimed he was dealing with Aladdin, and he clearly wasn't dealing with Aladdin in any way, shape or form.
The amazing talents behind the art for those games. Now, Ed, we've been working on the user interface now for
about a year.
For about a year, and we're going to take a very quick sneak peek of our user interface for the very first time. Ed, take it away.
Let's jump in. Yeah, so when...
Wow, the artwork on that is just phenomenal, isn't it? I mean, they've taken 3 years to come up with that. Wow, God, Sony, Microsoft, what the hell do you think you're doing? take a tip from the man who knows, you know. Good Lord.
When you turn on Amico, this is your landing page. This is our home screen UI. UI stands for user interface. So from this screen, you can do all kinds of things like select your game. You can make purchases here.
God, thing even dances. I've seen other people. I just looked through some comments on Reddit, and some people have mentioned this user interface looks a bit like the PlayStation Vita, and it does. I bought one of those recently, and well, not recently. God, it was about practically 4 years ago. I never got around to using it very much until much recently. I don't know. Just kind of lost track of it, and then I used it recently, just getting into a bit of Little Big Planet on there, which I played all the way through on the PSP, and there's some gameplay on my channel for that. I played it on the Vita, so I played through a bit of that. I need to play more though, but the Vita's great. But even after it's been discontinued, I think it'll still have. Well, obviously it's been a while since the Vita's been discontinued, but as soon as I think it'll still have a long life after the Amico's discontinued, to put it politely, even if the damn thing ever comes out.
Here you can customize your console, the lights. You can do all kinds of great stuff from this page.
And one of the things that was really important to us was showing movement all the time. You can see that video screen there to the right, but every game that you own, and even the ones you don't own, are represented by a globe. But the ones that you do own, you can see they are spinning and they're lit up, and they have different, so you really know which. We took the idea.
Why are they there if you don't own them? I don't understand that at all. So you just link through to a shop and then you buy them and then they appear in your list of things.
Of your own library and the store, and we've kind of combined them together and talk about the different categories.
Yeah, so from here you can scroll up or down and look at the different categories. We've got categories for, as you can see, for kids, for
Backtalk Party. What the hell's that? Nitro Derby, Snafu. What are they meant to be? Snafu looks like it might be like a Tron Cycles game, unless that's come up before and I've had a sleep since then. And Cornhole appears twice. I mean, why does it need to appear twice? It doesn't at all.
For party games, sports games, action games.
You could own a certain game, but it can be represented in multiple.
And they got armor battle. So we had battle tanks, tank battle. They settled on tank battle, I think, even though that's someone else's name. And excuse me, and now they're calling it armor battle. Even though they're not said, they're calling it armor battle.
Category, so it really depends on what your mood is for that day or that evening. So let's go in now. When you do hover over a globe, when you pick the globe, you'll see the monitor comes in. Now, Ed, this is a physical edition. This isn't one of our boxed edition games.
Boxed editions,
isn't it? How do we know that?
Well, as you can see, you've got a badge there that tells you that it's a collector's edition game.
Well, there you go. There's your $20 right there. That's worth $20 of anyone's money. The fact that at home you can sit down in front of your TV and it just says collector's edition number 81 in this case. Wow, that's no one else will see that, I guess, but you will see that. You paid for the collector's edition, but only you will see that at home. It's worth every penny. God, OEB Pete, he'll be well chuffed with that, I tell you.
But the unique thing about this is it also tells you what number you happen to purchase. So
everybody has a unique number.
Everybody has a unique number, yeah. And in addition to your unique number, there's also, in the collector's edition games that you purchase, you get a lenticular card and a coin, which we represent digitally here.
Yay!
So only people that purchase the collector's editions will get these extra little digital items.
I was gonna buy one set of the collector's edition games, but you know, bloody DJC bought them all up and now they're out of stock. Oh dear.
In their UI.
Very cool. We even have the box as well, right? Even look at that.
Box.
Yeah.
The box itself. Very, very cool.
Christ almighty. It'd be cool if it was like 40 years ago. Good God. Maybe 30 years ago even, but not now.
So if we go back out to the main UI,
Maybe they'll show them tapping a box on the console and loading a game in. Ooh, there's 2.5 minutes to go, so all bets are off.
here, we can also. I mentioned that we could change some of the settings.
Well, let's go through some of the settings. I mean, you have the
Hang on,
system.
let's store.
Setting.
Hang on.
We can also. I mentioned that we could change some of the
Sesame Street Food Pack 1.
settings.
Oh, those went past very quickly. It said breakout.
We can also. I mentioned
let's
that
try.
we could change some of the
Finnegan Fox. So we've got Sesame Street Food Pack 1. Can I get it?
setting.
Ah, no, I can't. Major League Baseball, we've not seen that. Night Stalker. Well, they've not. If that people are talking about Night Stalker, they'd want that game, but they've never shown us Night Stalker. You know, in this sort of form as how it's meant to be. Why don't they show us some of that? Because they're not making it. Nitro Derby, is that the new name for Hot Wheels? Moon Patrol. So the back chat party, back talk party, backdoor party, who knows? Cornhole, Dino Blaster, Evil Knievel, yeah. Snafu, God, what a mess that one looks like. Yeah, it's yeah.
Well, let's go through some of the settings. I mean, you have the system setting,
Wow, cogs in the system settings, never seen those before.
which is all that stuff. But yeah, we can quickly scroll through some of these.
Yeah, we've got all of these options here where you can do things like change the lights on your console.
Ooh, language. How about language?
You can
Let's
change
go
the
in.
language.
Tommy needs to mind his language, that's for sure.
Can we change this to Italian?
Yes, we
Come on.
can.
Oh, look at that. We put it second. There you go. Let's see.
it to
Hey,
Hey, it's him, Tommy, what's in Italian?
hey, Italiano.
There
Hey.
you go.
I just I won't repeat it here, but there's a line from Stewie in Family Guy when he sees. I think they're going through one of those multiverse videos, the episodes, and they end up seeing a load of Italians going "ow, ow," vowel sound, and I won't repeat the word that's the phrase that Stewie says, but yeah, I think Tommy's just kind of demonstrated it there.
We'll go back to English, and then we can take a look at what it's like to purchase a game.
All right.
But I assign that only to Tommy himself, not anyone else Italian. I don't want them dislikes on my channel from the whole country. It's just Tommy who's just complete lunatic in this situation.
Right, so let's purchase Finnegan Fox. I wanna get that game, and you can see it's a featured game. So we're gonna always have
Wow, it's $0. Brilliant.
a featured game when a new game comes out. They'll always be there, and here you go. You can
Maybe he'll put his credit card details in, and we can all use his thing to buy some games.
buy. Right? Should we buy it?
Let's buy it.
All right, let's do it.
So we already have a credit card selection. We have a stored credit card that we're going to use here.
Those figures don't look very valid to me.
Just so we can show you how this whole process works. You go down and you make your purchase.
That doesn't show us how anything works. That just shows a set of screens that can be pre-written. You know, and even when you go to make purchase, it would then go to a screen saying they're contacting your bank. I wonder if it does that.
Purchase. And then from here, you're gonna see the game start to down.
Well, they're just giving you the example of what it looks like. It's clearly wouldn't. It's just a representation. They're like, you know, if you want us to be on board with this, just shows it actually happening. Just demonstrating what it would look like with some pre-rendered screens is not demonstrating anything.
Download. And
there it goes.
Yep, it will slowly start to ramp up.
And it goes from being a ghost to...
Yeah, I mean, it obviously takes a while to download because it's probably a 50 gigabyte game, I guess.
To popping to life and being a colorful globe and orb. Look at that. Woohoo!
And there you go. You own Finnegan Fox.
God, it does that every single time. Fuck me.
Fox now.
Party. Hey, can we favorite Finnegan Fox too? So once you own a game, you can go in and then you hit favorite and then you go back out and then go to your favorite section and there's Finnegan Fox.
There it is.
Wow.
There it is.
So you can see if we can launch the game from right here.
Very cool.
Yep, you just hit play and there you go.
It goes up. I like how the screen zooms in like that. Very cool. And you'll notice how quick these games load in too, right?
Yeah, because there's fuck all to them.
Well, there you have it, a little sneak peek of our user interface.
Yeah, and we'll be showing more of the UI as we get closer to launch, so keep an eye out for those videos.
That's right. Thanks, everyone.
So that's part one of this dirge. Let's move on to Ninja Kitty's video. At least we've got the crap out of the way anyway. Moving on to Ninja Kitty's video. See, blimey, they must have upgraded the UI since that video was made, because look at all these icons that have been appeared. I know this is Ninja Kitty. He's really good with this stuff. We've got Pew Pew Game, another Pew Pew game, free Flash game, and what's that? This is this is a desk. You can't read this. Yeah, I certainly can't read all of the first bit. I'm trying to read it, but this is a mess. You can't read this. Leisure Suit Francois Brazil edition, like Leisure Suit Larry. Those games that came out on the Commodore 64, I think, back in the 80s, and the point and click adventures. I remember sort of seeing them. I never really played them, but I think have I tried one on PC? I might have done, but I can't remember. I'm getting old. My brain's gone. Anyways, let's see what Ninja Kitty's got to say anyway.
So I'm just going to do a quick top 10 things I found wrong in this user interface video. We'll try to make this quick, just because there is so much more wrong, but I just thought it'd be fun to do something quick. First thing, and we'll do it in chronological order. First thing is, Tommy introduces himself as the CCO, the Chief Creative Officer.
Chief Clown Officer. It's like CNN, the Clown Network News.
/ President. I thought he was the CEO. Either way, he's not very creative, so I thought that was wrong. Second
He doesn't know what he is, Tommy. He's just making it up on the fly every single day.
thing, when they do show the menu here, the representation of the games being a planet, being a globe, and then using a 2D picture wrapped around a globe just looks terrible. Like you can barely tell that this game is called, like, what the games are.
It's quite a small image as well. You could use up... So much of the screen is just left as blue space. They could easily fill the screen with more of the games. Not, just... They don't, well, it's like they're trying to obviously emulate the Vita, but why they're trying to emulate something which is come and gone, I don't know. But even that uses up more of the screen on its real estate than this thing does.
You see Shark is just a jumbled mess, and the text is really small.
I think the whole Amico is a jumbled mess.
And it's hard to read. I don't understand why they wouldn't have used just a simple logo of the game, or even like an animated GIF of part of the game, just to show what it is, with larger text below of it.
Because Tommy's his stock in trade is just trying to make things more complex than they really are.
I would find this will be pretty hard for older people to see because it's just so small.
It's great for grandmas though.
Just think this looks bad. So that goes into the third thing I found wrong, is they have way too much wasted space on the main menu here. As you can see, first of all, the background is really like a low-res space type picture. I don't know, they should have made it something a little bit more sharper.
Oh, come on! They've spent 3 years working on this. They're doing the best they can.
And instead of using all that empty space, or wasting all that empty space, why didn't they make the games bigger and easier to see with the text easier to see? It just seems like that was like just a lot of dead space there, and it's hard to see.
I think Tommy's been to too many of those backdoor parties.
The fourth thing on the list I found wrong is the text on the menus isn't justified correctly. It just seems weird. Like if you look in action, you see the two letters are really close together, and I'm not sure if the word is spacing. I'm not too sure, but it just doesn't look uniform.
I didn't spot that at the time, but yeah, it just all looks. It's like the menu's it's like the system's just trying to process the menu on the fly, and they've not put much thought into it. But then, this thing is not coming out, so it's just designed to trick a few more investors before they pull the plug.
And symmetrical, like it just seems really similar to their physical box games. Things just don't look justified correctly. And as you can see, one of the menus is slanted up to lower right, and the other one's going from down the left to the up and right. It just doesn't seem consistent. It's very bizarre. Number 5 on this list is when they enter into the game here, it says it's 1 to 4 players, yet the logo below just shows 3 controllers. It's not a big issue, but you'd think they would have 4 controllers showing. It's kind of
How come you don't expect Tommy to actually pay attention to details with this?
kind of weird. Number 6. If you go through the store, or stop where it says store, it shows, first of all, the games aren't in alphabetical order, so it's kind of weird. I don't know how they have it set up, but you see Armor Battle. So I guess it's no longer Battle Tanks or Tank Battle, it's Armor Battle.
Yep.
You also see Back Talk Party, which is supposed to be the 6th pack-in game. That's another weird thing. Why is the pack-in games like Back Talk Party, Skiing, Astro Smash, why are those games included in the store? They shouldn't be on the store.
I wonder what Backtalk Party meant to be. I mean, I remember the Vita had something called Near, which would sort of try and identify people who live near you who are using a Vita, which was a bit, the privacy issues with that one. But yeah, what you want to do, just chat to people. Well, that's what Facebook and Reddit are for, I suppose. Who's going to have a party? Well, maybe some of the Amico cults are just going to have a party with themselves on Amico, and the chats will be recorded and then forwarded to the police if necessary.
Other games we see here is Night Stalker, which we haven't seen at all. Nitro Derby, who knows? Major League Baseball, we haven't seen anything. And they actually have the Hot Wheels Colossal Crash.
Ah, that's the one. Those are the ones I missed. Hot Wheels Colossal Crash. Right, so Nitro Derby isn't Hot Wheels. We've got Sesame Street Animal Pack 1, Sesame Street Elmo's Pack 1, Letters Pack 1. God, I can't wait to play Letters Pack 1. Cookie Monster Pack 1, Numbers Pack 1, wow, and Food Pack 1. God, so much to look forward to, and $10 a piece as well. God, I'll get my wallet out now.
And do they have the license for that?
Probably not.
I don't know. I guess they do. They wouldn't put in an official video
Oh.
saying Hot Wheels Colossal Crash if they did not have the license. Other games they have are like Blank Slate, Pool, Breakout, which they haven't shown in a while. I don't know why. It's their nicest looking game.
Yep.
And a bunch of the Sesame Street games. And that's about it.
I mean, Breakout would be good if they brought that out as a standalone game for the PC, like we had with the demo. I mean, yeah, I know there's been calls for it elsewhere. Just we'd be better off having games if Intellivision just made software. I know Darius mentioned that. If Intellivision made software and just put that out to all the consoles and PC and so on, rather than trying to faff about with a console, it'd be so much better.
For number 7, this is one of my biggest gripes on the main menu. It shows all the games that you can play, even if you don't own them.
Yep.
So the games you own are lit up or highlighted, while the games you do not own are, not sure if the word's faded or ghost-like, as Tommy would say, but that's extremely confusing, especially for a casual gamer. Cause
Ghost-like is what Tommy will be like as soon as he's ready to pull the plug on this, because he'll just, he'll put his Ferrari in his house into someone else's name, and he'll funnel all the cash somewhere in a Swiss bank account, and then when the FEC come calling, or was it the SEC? I lose track. But when the feds come calling anyway, Tommy will be ghost-like.
Because if you look at it, you think, well, you just own everything, and you don't. So it kind of clutters it up and confuses people. So
I wonder whether it's to just sort of encourage people to buy the games. So you sort of, if you've got Daddy's credit card plugged in, then you can just scroll along, press the button for Snafu, and it just triggers the payment, triggers a download. Maybe it's just a way to get money out of people without the parents being able to authorize it.
Especially for a kid, he's talking about toddlers playing this, and
a toddler's creating this, I think. Just I've got no faith in Tommy being anywhere past the mental age of 6.
If you go over it, you would think if you see it that you own it. So number 8 on my list of things that were incorrect is the settings menu was just weird. So you see they have 8 options there, and the first one is system. And in my opinion, you would think that language, lights, internet, that type of stuff would be a sub-menu of system.
Well, unless it's Tommy Tallarico and he's just sort of, oh God, what can we put on our screen? We've got to show something. We're doing a UI deep dive, sneak peek, whatever, in 5 minutes. What can we do? God, we need 8 system. Help. Whatever else we've got on the system, just shove all that shit on the screen as well. Anything. Just say random words. Aardvark. Yep. Put a cog with Aardvark on it. Yep, brilliant. Thank you.
And if you look, you see in the bottom right it says info box. What does that mean? Like, I don't think anyone would understand what that means.
We could ask Tommy, but he wouldn't know either.
If you slow down the video, and when he highlights info box, it shows that there's messages. So I assume it's supposed to be an inbox. So It's weird that he wouldn't refer to it as inbox. Another weird thing I found about the settings menu here is the power is where you turn off, restart, or put your Amico to sleep.
Actually, I guess with the messages thing, it's probably just probably more a notifications thing. I hardly think Tommy's going to engage in emails through the Amico. I guess it's like Xbox Game Pass frequently tells me I've got notifications, and then I look at it and it tells me like a new game came out about 2 weeks ago. Well, great. Why didn't you tell me then? Why just wait until now?
It's kind of weird that you have to go through a settings menu just to turn off the machine or put it into sleep mode. Usually there's something on the main screen or also on the controller itself that would, if you hold the button, that it'll put into that menu.
This sort of makes me think of the PlayStation 4 and 5. You learn a certain way to do things with the PlayStation 4 in terms of switching it off. Certain presses of the joysticks, one of the joysticks and a couple of buttons, and a certain what are the words I'm thinking of? A certain series of buttons in order to do it, and then you learn that off by heart for the PlayStation 4, and then that you then move on to the PlayStation 5. Do they carry it over to the PlayStation 5? Do they? Hell, they just make you learn a whole new different set of things for the 5 as well. Which just is an absolute nonsense. Why can't they just keep things the same from one to the next?
Just seems odd. And when he goes into the language menu, that's so cheesy. So the second option for language is after English. It goes into the button that it'll put into that menu. It just seems odd.
The other one?
And when
turn off, restart, or put Amico to sleep. Why would you need a restart option? And why do you just put it to sleep? Why don't you just turn it off? It's not a PC. That's strange. In fact, I think a lot of people, after using it, they'll just turn it off, put it in the cupboard, and never get it out again.
It goes into the language menu. That's so cheesy. So the second option for languages after English is Italiano.
Hey, vowel sound.
And he makes a joke about it. Why would it be Italian? Of course, it's because Tommy decided to do that, but almost every single thing with languages starts with English, then something like French, Spanish, German. Italian would not be the top, well, definitely not the second. It just seems like just another, I don't know what the word is, dumb idea that he has.
He's got plenty of them.
So number 9 is probably the biggest issue I have in this whole video that he shows. It's the purchase process when you purchase a game.
Yeah, this is why I don't think it's the process. They've just cobbled together a few screens just to make it look like this is what might happen. It's not showing us the actual process. So it's like how they've not shown us tapping a card on the unit to download a game because there's no store in place to actually allow that. That's why obviously they can't show you buying a game either. So they've just created a mock series of screens as to what it might look like, an artist's impression. It's nothing more.
So when he shows the featured games, and already it's weird because Finnegan Fox is already highlighted, so it makes it look like you already own it, but you don't. So you click on it, you click to purchase. It already has some. If you have your credit cards stored on the machine already, you just pick whatever credit card you want, click next, and by default, it already has the check mark checked off.
Perhaps we should ask DJC Game Studios, since he's clearly played all the way through Finnegan Fox, even though he can barely get past the first screen and keeps falling in the river
when you're purchasing the game, and that doesn't seem right. I've never seen anything, by checking off this box to accept all terms. I've never seen by default a thing checked off. So I think I'm not even sure if that's legal, but it just seems off.
Probably not.
And
I don't think Tommy's concerned about legalities, though. Otherwise, none of this will be happening.
I think, especially since Tommy made mention in his investor's pitch about how that one kid on the mobile...
I think Tommy mentioned a lot of things in the investor's pitch that will never come true.
Game, I forget which game, spent $10,000 and how,
yeah,
non-secure it was.
In fact, just I remember, just gone back slightly. I remember Ninja Kitty did a really, really good video about the investor's pitch. I can't remember whether it was relatively recent. I have a feeling it was sort of in the last few months, looking back on the investor's video, which is why I didn't pick up on it at the time. But again, that was like another 3-hour live stream. Might have been with Days Gaming as well. But that was a really good video, really well worth watching.
Which game spent $10,000 and how, non-secure it was giving a kid your phone. In his demo video here, it's just the same thing. It's not that there's $10,000 worth of games you could buy, but there's nothing stopping a kid from buying all the games.
These are clearly worth... I'd pay $10,000 for Finnegan Fox, said DJC.
It just seems like really... That doesn't seem right. And you see after he launches the game, which does take a little while to load, it's not as instant as Tommy makes it out to be, you see it says press A button. I wasn't aware that there was an A button for the Amico controller.
That's a good point. Press a button. Press A button. Press any key, and Homer Simpson can't find the any key.
So that might be in line with what the magazine review that I posted the other day said, where the menu systems are confusing because, as far as I know it, there is no actual A or B button on the remote. Or
no.
Is this a port for the Xbox version? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
And the last one, the 10th item, was just the layout of the main screen. I just find it very clunky. In my opinion, I would have probably just had, your library of games, the store, settings, and power, and nothing else. Instead, they have everything on the main screen, and below your games, they have all the different genre, like where you can filter to different subgenres, so like action or family, and they have one that's called grandparents, but they skip through that really quick. I don't know why. But to me, it just...
Yeah, because Granny will love this. My Granny died 32 years ago, but I'm sure she'll love this. I'm sure we can resurrect her for this.
It seems really messy, and it'll be very cluttered if they ever do release a lot of games. You'll be pressing down, and it'll just be a ton of games.
It's okay, I doubt they'll be releasing a lot of games for this.
And it'll just be, it's hard to see. I would think what you should do instead is use the controller to, filter the games. There should be buttons, so you press, action games on the controller, and then it'll show only the action games, family games, and that would make more sense to me, but that's just my opinion. Overall, I don't know why this took them a year to show off. I think this is the exact same user interface they showed like 9 months ago. It's not.
Tommy Tommy just repeats the same thing over and over again. I think when we had Space Strikers at one point, it was just the same rubbish we saw the time before, and the game still looks like a mess. Tommy's got nothing in his locker whatsoever.
A big deal. It's nothing special. It's kind of messy. It's pretty much on par with what we expect already. In the end, I don't think it does its job, because this is supposed to be aimed for casual gamers and people who use mobile phones. This seems really clunky and not really intuitive, so I can't see little kids or seniors or casual gamers really understanding it well. And all the time they put into it, it doesn't really show a lot. So that's just my 2 cents, and that's all I have for today. So have a good one.
I had a good one earlier. It was. I had to open the window afterwards, but you probably don't want to hear about that. Anyways, let's move on to got one other thing in this video. Okay, so the last thing I've got is there was a recent game article. Did I mention part of it last time? It was in a magazine called MGames, and supposedly an Amico review. And the problem was it was all in German, apart from one. I can't remember if I've mentioned it in a video along the way. Apart from one paragraph, which was translated into English, the rest of it was just left in German. And apparently, you could only look at it on their actual website if you wanted to pay a fortune to subscribe to them. Well, no, I didn't. And after what Ninja Kitty did, again, I'll link this video, but I won't play through his video because I've watched it a couple of times already. But I'll link it for you below. He put an image of the magazine through some sort of online thing that recognised the text and then translated it. It's more clever than I can do. And he went through it all. And given how threadbare the review is, I'm glad I didn't pay for it. So, I mean, when you watched Ninja Kitty's video as well, but the MGames review basically started off, and Tommy was like promoting this. Did he promote it? I'm sure, yeah, well, at least someone will put it on the official Amico Reddit. Whether it's from him or not, I don't know, because it was none too happy with the Amico. But their review started giving off some basic background information and information from Intellivision, which about the fact it's due for release in Q1 2022, but we know that's not the case because they haven't built anything as of yet. So nothing is in production, whatever OEV Pete thinks is happening. And China also shuts down for part of the first quarter anyway, for New Year. So, I don't know, maybe some lovely Chinese women can come over to the UK and celebrate their New Year with me. So, anyway, I watched Crazy Rich Asians. I hadn't seen it before. I was quite looking forward to that. And it was on BBC One. And I missed it at the time when it was in the cinema and then on Blu-ray and whatever. My God, what an empty film that was. Nice ladies, but my God, it's just there was no plot to it whatsoever. So it's not like I can give any spoilers anyway. I'm still waiting for the plot to start, and it finished last night. It was just there was a bit of Rachel was going to marry Henry Golding, or do they get married? Do they not? Who cares? But then the Henry Golding's mum, Michelle Yeoh, just really took umbrage with her, but that just seemed to take forever to get to that point, and then it was all resolved within a matter of about 10 minutes. It was stupid. And why anyway? I mean, the lead actress, Christina Wu, she was always being introduced as Rachel Chu. Now, I don't know, whenever I've been introduced to anyone, they just tell me their first name. Or if someone says, this is my girlfriend, wife to be, whatever, they just say their first name. They don't start giving me their full, name, surname, personal pronouns, none of that leftist nonsense. they just tell me their first name. Except I watched that. I watched the first episode of With Love on Amazon Prime. Oh god, that was woke to infinity. Just there's one chap who's just being introduced with his personal pronouns, and I thought, who the fuck cares? You know, just it was just such a load of woke nonsense. It was even more nonsense than Crazy Rich Asians. But I'm rather getting off the track here anyway. Let's go back to this. So MGames also say that the console has been compared to the Switch because of where the prices ended up at nearly $300. And Intellivision themselves reckon the Amico is again, this is probably where there's some mistranslation through an online automated service. But Intellivision themselves reckon the Amico is a mid-range, high-end toy product. A toy product, yeah. It's it's a toy of some description. Maybe it just needs some way you can shove it up your bum to get some excitement out of it. But yeah, it's a toy of sorts. But still, while MGames slightly disagree with Intellivision's assessment, they then go on to just repeat the usual Amico spiel that Tommy thinks today's AAA games are complicated, so they're trying to make things more simple. They also mention the controller has 4 action buttons as well as a screen, but I've only ever seen people use the top buttons, and I can't think what the point of the bottom buttons are for. But as Ninja Kitty says, you might not be able to use all the buttons at the same time. The controller may only allow 1 or 2 at any one time, but yeah, because it's not the most complex of controllers. The controller also has a built-in mic and speakers, but I never use these things for my games anyway. I don't bother with multiplayer. I know the PlayStation 5 controller, for example, has a microphone built in. I always make sure it's switched off for when I'm recording gameplay. But there is just the speaker. Weird thing happens with the speaker for WRC10, the rally game, because I'll be sort of driving over some gravel. Normally, I expect the sounds of the game to come out through the speakers in the room, but I don't need extra, nonsense coming out of the sort of extra gravel sounds coming out of the controller itself. That just feels weird. Just have it coming through the, through the just through the normal speakers. Why do we need speakers in a controller? They then mention a couple of other games like Evil Knievel and Finnegan Fox, and then the box editions, and how they're supposed to work with the RFID. Of course, they never seem to have any experience of that themselves. That's because obviously it doesn't work. However, after quote-unquote several hours of hands-on use, they still have doubts about the console. Then came the part about whether it's a Wii successor. Though that was the part that was already translated online. I mean, I never had a Wii myself. I did play it briefly, but I understand it was only really successful for Wii Sports, but the console still sold in huge numbers. Probably just for that, unlike the Amico. MGames also say that the games have a jerky performance, and that the UI navigation is complex, which obviously the UI thing was seen there. But that the dial on the controller is spongy. Although they refer to the dial as a turntable. I mean, isn't it just jaw-dropping? Oh wow! Then quote unquote, the motion control degenerated into wild waving. The touchscreen is suitable for simple entries in hectic titles. It seems anything but intuitive, and takes a long time to get used to it. And that's basically referring to the turbo boost in Astro Smash. So you have a fast game like that, and it's just difficult to try and get on top of how it's supposed to work. So Granny is not going to bother with this. They also, again, maybe this is a mistranslation thing, we're also still skeptical about the announced game replenishment. So basically it sounds like they're saying Intellivision are unlikely to make any games post-launch, which sounds about right. And that's it. Apparently they had several hours of hands-on use, but barely wrote about it, so I'm glad I didn't pay for it, because they just wrote a few paragraphs and then moved on to the next thing. However, they say that Earthworm Jim 4 promises the Amico will not only serve as a recycling centre in the long run. Let's read that back again. Quote unquote, Earthworm Jim 4 promises the Amico will not only serve as as a recycling centre in the long run. Try and get your head around that. I mean, does that mean that the game will stop people throwing it away? I really don't understand at all. But yeah, a mad review. I wonder if we'll get more. I wonder if Tommy just sent that out to one magazine and it wasn't favourable, so he won't send it out to anyone else. Anyway, so yeah, so that's everything I got for the time being. So we've had the UI interface sneak peek, and Tommy's rubbish as well. He doesn't look happy. He doesn't look happy at all. I know the review's just been photoshopped there. God, I can't think why. Why is Photoshop? You know, Windy Pops. Why is Photoshop so in sync with the Amico? I wonder why. Anyway, so yeah, that's there we go for now. I was in two minds whether to mention a couple of things that do some reactions to things that OEB Pete did, but I don't know. Maybe we'll save that for another time. If there's nothing much to talk about between Christmas and New Year, I might drop another one in. We'll see what rubbish he has to talk about. But one thing was he was talking about Atari VCS in 2021, but pretty much I think anyone who's got one will be using it as a doorstop. And if Mrs. Peters got any sense, she'll have thrown it out, and if he's got a cat, the cat will have pissed in it. So anyway, so there we go. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell for all the notifications. Have a good Christmas and New Year and all that palaver. Watch all my gameplay videos. And cue Genesis.